It's already been here in New York for Boston College, trying to win for the third time in 3 days as they take on the 4th seed, the Clemson Tigers. Clemson seeing its first action of this New York Life ACC tournament on day 3 of the event. ESPN's Champ Week continues, presented by Principal with the New York Life ACC tournament from Brooklyn. Boston College and Clemson. They met once in the regular season in early January. Clemson won at BC in a close game. The winner of this one will advance to take on Virginia, the #1 seed. Impressive in defeating Louisville moments ago. And we welcome you back inside the Barclays Center. Sean McDonough along with Dan Dockich. Delighted to have you with us. Clemson and Boston College, 2 of several teams in the ACC that had surprisingly good seasons. It's our first look at Clemson. What stands out about the Tigers to you?
You know, they're a lot like Boston College. They have 3 guards on the perimeter that put great pressure on. They just keep going. Boston College does the same, but Clemson's 3 guards, they put pressure. They find each other in transition. They find each other in half court. It's really impressive. You know, they're veteran guys that have no ego. It's really impressive for Clemson.
Time to look at who's flipping the switch, brought to you by Boost Mobile. You mentioned the surprisingly good season since they went to the preseason poll in 1990 in the ACC. Finishing 10 positions above your preseason pick is the all-time mark in the ACC. That's what Clemson did. 11 wins, the most in school history in league play. And as Reese and the gentlemen were just discussing, down the stretch played without Dante Grantham, their second leading scorer and rebounder. They'll be challenged today. This BC team is earning a lot of fans with its spirited play. The hype about them coming in was the best backcourt in the ACC, and Jerome Robinson and Kai Bowman are living up to that.
Yeah, Kai Bowman. We talked about Clemson's guards putting pressure. Kai Bowman's the kind of guy who can go get a rebound and go get his own shot. This kid here, Jerome Robinson, has been terrific. Bowman and Robinson can both shoot it. They can both finish. And that shot right there you just saw was big late tie game. They are players. They don't have a position. I know Bowman's supposed to be the point guard. That's fine. Robinson's out. That's all fine. But the truth of the matter is they're both ballers. They can do whatever you want to do on the court.
There's Maria Taylor.
Well, Sean, you mentioned flipping the switch, and that's exactly what Boston College wanted to do coming into this ACC tournament. They said they wanted to not learn how to win, prove that they could win. And so one of the ways that they've been working on that throughout the tournament is vocalizing while they're sitting on the bench together. So when the other team is making a run, can they vocalize what needs to be done on the court? And Jerome Robinson has taken the lead on that, and it's been very fun to watch here on the sidelines, guys.
Like yesterday.
First quarterfinal in the ACC tournament for Boston College in 2013. The question will be, do they have enough in the tank? They've played a lot of minutes. They don't have a deep bench. Clemson's been sitting around New York a long time waiting to go. Jim Christian said, I think the fact that we played his Eagles is an advantage. Our players have a tremendous amount of confidence, and even during the warm-up today, Dan, you could see how loose this BC team is.
I think he's right. I don't think you're going to see fatigue factor in at all. And I also think for Boston College playing Florida State, yesterday was a good test here, because what they talked about keeping the ball in front of them when Boston College played Florida State. They went to a little bit of zone. It's the same thing here. You have got to keep Reed, DeVoe, Mitchell. You've got to keep these guys in front. So I'm not so sure that yesterday's game, even though maybe you think, okay, might be tired, I don't buy that, but I think yesterday's game is good prep for this one.
Mike Eads, the lead official. Tim Nestor and Les Jones working with him, and Clemson in the white controlled the tip. It was won by Elijah Thomas. Gabe DeVoe to the wing for Shelton Mitchell. Marquise Reed, he's their leading scorer, redshirt junior. Around the perimeter, leads to a 3, and it wouldn't go for Gabe DeVoe. And the first rebound of the game for Boston College comes down to Jordan Chatman. 3-guard look for BC. Here's Chatman, one of those guards, and here's Jerome Robinson, leading scorer in the ACC in the regular season. They come to pester him early. Clemson, an outstanding defensive team. Nick Popovich, nice move. He's been terrific in their 2 wins. over Georgia Tech and NC State to get here for the third day in a row on this stage.
We need to talk about him more. He has been really good right there. Really good. Went over, got help, knocked it away. He has been the difference for BC as much as anybody else.
Challenged Amir Sims, the freshman, at the rim. BC bolstered today. They'll be a little bit deeper. There's a three in the air. They come out firing again. Stephon Mitchell, the freshman forward. And BC will have Luka Kraljevic available, a freshman who's played some important minutes during the year, but he hasn't played in the first two games here with a concussion. He was cleared to play just prior to game time. And they have a little more depth today, and they need it. 3 games in 3 days. Boy, tough luck underneath the basket for Elijah Thomas Jr. out of Dallas. Member of the All-ACC defensive team. He was in close but couldn't finish. Boy, that looked like a travel. It was not. Mitchell found Robinson. He took a shove. Didn't get the bucket, but he'll go to the line.
This is really good by Popovich, and he's been doing this for 2 games. Actually did it in the final of the regular season game as well. A little 2 dribbles to the middle, 1-2 drop step, keeps his chin up and goes around a terrific defender. And here, there's a help, goes straight up, which they're allowing, and then he just gets the ball out of there away from Thomas. This kid has been huge for BC.
Robinson missed the first free throw. Boston College coached by Jim Christian. In his 4th season. Now 19-14, trying for their 20th win of the year. Second one around and in. And 2 minutes in, BC out quickly again with a 6-0 lead. Sims gave it off to Reed. He thought about a deep 3-point try. And an errant pass and a turnover. Gabe DeVoe tried to fire it inside. Incomplete.
You know, it's amazing. And I think you feel this way. BC is a 12 seed. Tells you how good this league is.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy cow.
How about that offense? The other thing that has impressed me about Boston College is how well coached and how well they execute at the offensive end. And that's just great action there.
This is so good. It's just a ball screen. And look at this pass. Right between 2 guys. Sits down. Bowman does. And you're right. You know, their scores obviously are Robinson and Bowman. Okay. But they're willing passers as well. And that's a big-time coaching thing. That goes unlooked when you talk about what coaches get done with a team. That kid there, man, he's a human fast break. He gets it off the glass and just takes it. Best rebounding guard I've seen all year.
It's hard to argue with that. 6.8 rebounds per game. 1 out of 2 for Popovich, sophomore from Bosnia. He's been a standout. Clemson, 2.5 minutes in to its first game at this ACC tournament. Still looking for its first bucket.
Oh, you got to go inside here.
Reed off the mark. They try again from the other side. Off the mark again. That was Gabe DeVoe, one of the best 3-point shooters in Clemson history. The next one will be his 155th career, move him into the top 10 all time. Bowman, sophomore from Havelock, North Carolina. From the corner, Mitchell, no. Popovich tried to poke it away, but he was blocked out by Elijah Thomas.
Great defense, because I'm telling you, Clemson is so good in transition. They got back fast.
Finally on the board, Clemson. Nearly 3.5 minutes in. Amir Sims, the freshman.
Sims only 29% shooter from 3. Look.
Popovich passed it off, and Mitchell got hit hard. And the freshman from Shakopee, Minnesota, will go to the line.
John, you know how hard that was to do what Popovich just did? Popovich was going down the lane about as fast as his body will take him in a short distance. He stopped, sat down, and dropped the pass off to Mitchell. This is not easy. He's flying. Stop. Avoided a charge. How many times in this tournament, and I'll answer it a lot, have we seen guards go flying through there, drop it off, and charge? It's a big dude. It's a good answer, really. I think you should just do that all the time.
No, you said it all there. Sort of answered your own question, which I've become accustomed to. So I'm just here to, keep moving the ship from point A to point B if you need me, which is not often, and I'm fine with that.
We do like Mitchell, though, don't we?
I do.
Yeah, he does a lot of good stuff.
Now, this number 5 who's checked in for Clemson.
I do. Mark Donnell coached him in AAU, was my son's roommate at Michigan for 4 years. I've known his mom and dad, Susie and Ron. Brother Andrew plays for the Los Angeles Rams, lineman.
Yes, you do know him.
Yes, I do. 51% three.
There he is right on cue with a miss. DeVoe sent Chapman down to the deck. BC in transition. Bowman gets a screen. John Carlos Reyes in off the bench again. He's given them some nice minutes in the first 2 games here. Chapman, that's his game. The 3. Jordan Chapman with his 85th three-point field goal of the year in his 33rd game.
Watch when Robinson or Bowman drives. Watch how good Chapman is at filling in behind. He is as good at moving into an open spot as you're going to find.
Shelton Mitchell, the fadeaway for the redshirt junior. Bowman with just enough room to get it off. Mitchell to push the other way. And the layup spins off. Tough luck. BC, no signs of fatigue. They push it up quickly. Out of bounds. Last touched by Jerome Robinson. That gets us to immediate timeout with Boston College up 7.
I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Robinson drives. Chapman doesn't stand. He fills in behind. His man is late. You're late on Chapman. It is 3.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. We know that life doesn't fit into any one plan, so start a plan that flexes with yours.
Been a long time since I've had a good rice ball. Apparently they're pretty good, they tell us, down there at John's Deli, established in 1968. I'm hungry. We've been sitting here for hours now. That looks good. Right down the street. You going to buy after the game? You can break your streak?
Yes. My streak is over. I will buy.
My goodness. Cal Ripken-esque though it is, we'll be happy to see it end. I won't go for more than one rice ball.
No. You can have the rice balls, the pastrami. I'll buy the wine. We're in. I'm good.
There you go. It's a date.
Let's go.
Long way to go here first. Boston College trying to win for the 3rd time in as many days. They've already dispatched Georgia Tech and NC State. NC State was the 5 seed. Part of that 4-way tie for 3rd place in the regular season standings. There's a 3, up and good for Amir Sims. Well, your scouting report told us he's not much of a 3-point shooter. How about that?
When did I say that?
You did. I think you just said it a moment ago.
I said he's a 29% shooter.
That would suggest that you don't think he's very good. He'd only made 10 all year. He's made 2 today in 6 minutes.
That would suggest that he's got about, 10 straight misses coming.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just saying, water finds its level in basketball.
Why are you wishing?
I'm not
ill
wishing.
Upon, I'm sure he's a very likable young man.
Oh, he's a good player, too.
Is that like a makeup call or what?
No, no. I just know how basketball works.
Well, hopefully you'll start demonstrating that soon. There's a 3 for Shelton Mitchell, and Clemson has come to life.
I am a big Shelton Mitchell fan. I watched him early in the year. I'm a big Clemson fan.
Until he misses a shot, then you're going to come.
No, I watched him beat Ohio State at Ohio State coming down from 13 down, and they whooped up on them, and they are well coached, and you see that. They get their hands on a lot of things, and they can shoot it. Little ball screen here. Don't give room. Don't let a guy back you up. We've seen that for the last 3 days. Guys back you up. Remember yesterday, Al Freeman was backing guys up and drilling.
Kai Bowman has it back from Stephon Mitchell. Jerome Robinson hasn't attempted a field goal yet. Brad Brownell's defense alert to him. Ooh, a neck ball. There's Brad Brownell. For those who didn't want to watch the first game, you want to get back into the history of basketball?
I'm telling you, it is. PETA. You see Brad Brownell there, Evansville, Indiana, former high school teammate of the great Calbert Cheney. Terrific at Wright State.
He's been at 3 schools, Wright State, UNC, Wilmington, Clemson, taking all 3 to the NCAA tournament. Stephon Mitchell in the right place. We've said that more than once these last few days.
And Stephon Mitchell went right by Amir Sims. Amir Sims looked to block him out. Mitchell was gone.
Nice drive by Marquise Reed.
It's just hard. Mitchell's just such an active player, and you get him weak side. 75% of shots rebound opposite from where they were shot. Mitchell just changes direction on Sims, and man, every team needs a guy like Mitchell who just, he not only does the little things, he does the big things as well. I mean, he goes to the board, he gets his hands on things, he defends multiple positions.
Reed made the first, best free throw shooter in Clemson history, just under 88% for his career. Redshirt junior out of Landover, Maryland. Second team All ACC this year. BC by 1. They played at the Heights, Boston College on January 3rd. Clemson won 74-70. Of course, they had Dante Grantham in that game. Without him today, there's another 3 for Chapman out of the corner.
Well,
it was a 2, excuse me.
This is what I said in pregame. You know, you score right here, and all of a sudden Clemson right down the court because they always have 3 guys on the floor that can just make plays. A lot like Boston College, but they scored in 4 seconds after BC got a bucket.
Then Baker Jr. the shot. That would not fall for BC. Donnell with the bucket, and Clemson, after the very rough start, has now taken the lead.
Donnell is a terrific shooter. My mistake, Andrew Donnell is playing with the Baltimore Ravens and John Harbaugh.
You had the entire family history nailed until then. Bowman, blocking foul called.
Mark Donnell, he was there. I think that was a charge. But on the other end, he's a terrific pick and pop guy. Sets the screen, actually just slips the screen. They find him, and you let him click his heels, it's automatic.
Well, we're just getting started here at the New York Life ACC tournament on this Thursday. Nighttime doubleheader. ACC Blue Bloods in action. Duke taking on Notre Dame. North Carolina against Miami. And we talked about the Wild Virginia Louisville ending a week ago. How about the ending of that Miami North Carolina game? Joel Berry tied it up. Looked like he was going to send it to overtime. Jaquan Newton from almost half court for the win at the buzzer for Miami. Carolina fans seem to have recovered from that. Who do you like tonight in our?
I like Carolina. I think Carolina's. I know they had a bad second half against Duke, and people kind of lost their minds, but I think they're very good. And then I know you like Notre Dame, eh?
They have a little magic in this building. You know, the way they won last night, it just makes you think there's maybe going to be something special that happens for them here this week to get them into the NCAA tournament. Kai Bowman shut off on the drive. Clemson by 1 and still by 1 as Popovich missed the bunny. Reed underneath. Donnell shut off by 2 BC defenders. Popovich stayed with him.
Problem Mark Donnell has is he dribbles it before he fakes. Post guys got to fake before they dribble unless they know where they're going. Wow!
Marquise Reed stepped into a long three. He's made 64 this year. He's a tick over 38% for the season.
That was just running into a deep three. Good slip.
Tough pass. Yeah, Popovich tried to jam it inside to Mitchell. And a banker home by Gabe DeVoe, and Jim Christian calls a timeout. His team so confident coming in, started so well, and it's another run for Clemson. This one is 8-1.
Well, Clemson's up 23-17 on Boston College, and Jim Christian telling his Eagles that they have to do a better job making the shots difficult for Clemson. He feels like they're getting all the easy baskets and they're having to work terribly hard on the offensive end to score. He says the dribble penetration has been the problem. They have to do a better job talking and rotating on defense.
Well, that is so true. Clemson has really gotten comfortable. It's actually like Boston College has met, what's that word, the doppelganger. Is that the people that look like you? They met their own right here.
Well, they need to get some shots for their two best players, Bowman and Robinson, a combined 3 field goal attempts, and now Robinson a turnover. Bowman's 0 for 1 from the floor. Robinson 0 for 2. They have 1 point apiece. That will not get it done.
And the reason is because the 3 perimeter guys have all switched. They're getting fantastic help from their bigs, but they're staying in a stance, and they're not allowing themselves to be pushed back. You know, a little hesitation dribble. They're staying low when Robinson and Bowman are making their move.
That's 7 straight shots made by Clemson. Gabe DeVoe, the 3. Honorable mention All-ACC player this year. He's helped pick it up since Grantham got hurt. He's averaged 15 per game since that injury in mid-January. Popovich scores and a foul.
Well, that time Boston College just raised everybody above the free throw line. Got spread out, got high. Popovich slipped the screen. You see Skara didn't know which way to go because of the shooter in the corner, and he got there late.
David Skara's foul, his first. He's a redshirt junior. Urbans Mesniaks comes in for BC, front court backup. Now Popovich had a career-high 20 points in their win against Georgia Tech on Tuesday. He had 15 and 7 rebounds yesterday in their mild upset win over the NC State Wolfpack.
Now 3-2 zone, what that does is enables you to cover the outside a little bit better as opposed to a 2-3. Now you are susceptible to the middle, and Tom is pretty good in the middle. Thomas is a good player. I watched him in the second half just beat the daylights out of Ohio State back in December. He did not take a shot in the first half. Second half dominated the entire thing.
8-point lead for Clemson. They've made 8 straight shots. We're under 9 minutes to go in the first half. The winner will play Virginia in tomorrow night's first semifinal here in Brooklyn. Scar a little too frisky. Second foul on the native of Croatia. Well, great tournament action all over the country. The SEC tournament underway today. Texas A&M and Alabama in a good one right now on the SEC network. About 5 minutes to go. Alabama on the bubble, leading by 1. Rest of the action. Missouri. They get Michael Porter Jr. back.
I think he needs to just play like he's back. People are talking about how many minutes. Who knows? You just got to see how he feels, and if he can go, you just let him go.
Still considered to be one of the top picks in the upcoming draft, despite the fact that he played just a couple of minutes the entire season. Popovich denied at the rim. Shelton Mitchell nearly lost the ball, got it back. A.J. Oliver is on the floor for Clemson. He's earned a little more playing time recently with some good performances in practice, but he may go back to the bench if he keeps shooting like that. Robinson.
That was your guy, Sims.
What's that?
That was your guy Sims.
Oh, it was Sims?
Yeah.
No, it was your guy Sims.
Yes.
On the first of his 10 misses in a row that you predicted?
I'm a numbers guy. What can I tell you? I'm all about the numbers, Coach. I like it. I like the way Clemson has played in this game. They started out slow, but they showed a lot of pride. There's my guy, Sims. I bet this one goes in. Oh, yes. He made his first 2. Bell Biv DeVoe, he just knocks them all in. Brad Burnell likes it. This one makes Clemson so good. It is, watch the clock here. The shot's going to be taken by Chapman. It goes in. All of a sudden, the ball's taken out. You're going to see bottom of the screen. DeVoe is just running. Now he backs down, gets to the middle, lays it in. Look at the clock. 5 seconds. The ball is back in the lane, and that is exactly how Clemson wants to play. And really, they have to, because they have 3 guards always out there that are experienced. They share the ball, and they're all playmakers, not just shot makers, playmakers.
15-4 run. Clemson has overcome and then some a 9-point BC lead. BC led 12-3 right out of the gate. Now it's 28-20 and it's Clemson's ball.
I think at some point you're going to see the ball get stuffed in here to Thomas a little bit.
Thomas way outside. Sims, Reed. Yeah, they tried to jam it into Thomas, and Popovich around the waist, a little too frisky.
Yeah, that was a nice set. They made Popovich move. They started with Thomas with up top, as you said. Then he set a little pin down screen and spun and got in the post. Now Popovich going to have to sit.
So John Carlos Reyes comes back in.
True story. I was using the restroom before the game. I was, and a guy tells me,
Can I stop this now?
No, I like John Carlos plays really well. I go, I wish he would defend the rim better. So I'm going to stay. I'm going to watch that.
Okay.
You never know where you can get information.
DeVoe missed a long 3. Is he a better shooter than Bell and Biv, since you dropped little Bell, Biv, DeVoe on us right before the break?
DeVoe the third is the best shooter of those 4.
Out of the corner, another 3. Boy, have they heated up. Oliver, 4-star prospect coming out of Seneca, South Carolina.
Now he shoots it. He looks good doing it. He's a good-looking player, Oliver.
Bowman kind of forced it up. They're desperate to get up shot attempts. Clemson doing a great job on Bowman and Robinson. Neither one has a field goal after they dominated the first 2 days of this tournament.
Can I tell you why?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you why. Because unlike Louisville in the first game, the guard off the ball. Watch right here on the left side. See, he jumps in there. Just a little bit of hesitation from the left side of your screen made Bowman pop back. When the ball is in Robinson or Bowman's hand, the guys next to them are always active, jumping to the ball, faking at him, slowing him down just a little bit. And you see, not much going on yet. It's called jumping to the ball. You jump to the ball, and then you fake with the side of your body. That is ball side.
DeVoe. Ball slipped out of his hand as he went up for the shot, but in the right place again is Thomas. Another transfer. He's from Texas A&M. First player from the state of Texas to compete for Clemson on the basketball court. He's out of Dallas.
I think you said it right. He competes. I mean, he competes hard on the defensive end. You see right here, he's just trying to trail in the ball. Shadowing it a little bit. What do you call that? A spy in football when you spy on a quarterback?
On the quarterback, yes.
Exactly what Thomas is doing on those high ball screens.
Gabe DeVoe called for his first foul. Now, 3rd game in 3 days for Boston College, Dan, and when you're playing against tenacious defense like this, it's got to be fatiguing.
You worry about getting broke. You know what I mean? Like physically, not necessarily physically, but mentally broke. Because there's nothing easy. I mean, Robinson has had no looks, 0.
He scored 1 point. Obviously, it was from the free throw line.
Thank you. Really?
Well, this is Canadian football. You get 1 point for whatever they call that thing where you get 1 point for.
I thought maybe he hit a 3, but they said no, he was too open. We're only going to give you a 1.
You got to go in today again and do some more damage in that souvenir shop?
Don't change the subject, pal. He's got 1 point.
Well, he's more than 1 now.
Yeah.
He has 3. So if you just tuned in, you might have thought he made a 3-point field goal. There's a 3 out of the corner. DeVoe definitely shoots better than both Bell and Biv.
Man, he is a good basketball player because on this end, he is now all over Robinson. This isn't just, hey, make some shots. This is do a lot of different things.
By the way, you know the hometown of Bell, Biv, DeVoe?
Yes, Boston.
Boston, Mass, baby.
Hometown of Aerosmith.
The heart of the Commonwealth. You're not enjoying this one on Commonwealth Avenue right now at Marianne's. DeVoe missed the 3 and Bowman the rebound. Ricky Bell, Michael Bivens, and Ronnie DeVoe. Right now their offense is poison. The Boston College offensive end. We stretched this a little too far. I think we have.
I think we've gone one joke too many.
How far to the immediate timeout?
Too long. But you're right, and this is all now forced. I didn't think for the first 2 games anything was forced. Now I think it's forced by Boston College. And you.
Yes, no doubt.
Sean, I don't want you to stop any of this.
Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, I love all the references. It's driving me out of my mind. Do you get it?
Oh, well played.
All right.
Well played. Score the round for Maria. Bowman the rebound. He does not have a field goal. 0 for 4. Robinson passed it out. The extra pass to Chapman leads to a 3. And BC trying to scratch back into it as we approach halftime. 4.5 minutes to go.
Well, that was a great play by Robinson. Robinson that time did not force. Thomas did a great job coming in and stopping him. Extra pass for a 3. That's something to watch. Push it if you're BC. A little patience if you're Clemson. If you go into Popovic, you're going to get a foul here.
Tough drive and a tough shot by Reed. Bowman, little spinorama through center court. Chapman's open again. Another 3.
Pushing it. Got to push it. Little salt and pepper.
I knew you were going to say it. And now I'm so scared because I'm starting to think like you.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Clemson is on fire. And they're on fire because they're getting, look how open guys are. 6 different shooters have made 3s. These are guys who are all capable, but they're wide open. No pressure thus far from BC.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Protect your family no matter what.
Clemson scuffled early on in their first appearance in this ACC tournament. They were down 12-3 on the strength of some terrific three-point shooting. 8 out of 15 from beyond the arc. They have the lead by 8. We're moments away from the Audi halftime report. This is some fake happy talk on the set here and make it look like they're preparing for insights.
Look at all those notes in front of Jay Will.
Yeah, all prepared by somebody else to be ignored. Why go with facts when you can just fire up some opinions, not basically based on anything? Has the bubble burst for Louisville is among the topics they will be talking about. There was an OT thriller. I'm not reading this card very well. Would you like to read it? In the Big 12. TCU
yeah, that was
and
TCU K-State. Who won? Hey, let's go to the game. Let's get on the phones.
It is amazing. Not just at games, everywhere you go, right? People are texting. Shelton Mitchell, shot clock under 10. Ooh, Reed fired one underneath. Sims managed to rip it away, and boy, he's having a nice first half. 8 points for Sims.
Man, Sims did rip that away because Popovich was right there, and Sims just said no.
The average is 3.6 points per game.
Playing terrific. And playing well in defensive end as well. Really well.
Robinson, plenty of lift in that jump shot. And finally, his first field goal. First one by either Robinson or Bowman.
That was the best Robinson has moved without the basketball. He sprinted to his left and came back, changed direction, came off the big. Donnell was out there, but Robinson just lifted up. It's amazing when you sprint off cuts in basketball, shots go in.
Boy, strong down the lane, Mitchell. Very little resistance from Boston College. Sheldon Mitchell, another transfer. He's from Vanderbilt. Out of Oak Hill Academy, perennial power in Virginia. Popovich. And the easy bucket for Mitchell after some contact. Amir Sims went down.
I think Sims flopped a little bit. He got there. And again, Popovich just stopped. Pretty good body control and a great pass.
They come to double DeVoe momentarily as we're approaching 2 minutes to go in the half.
Inside pivot. He probably will shoot this.
Donnell working on Popovich. You called it. Air ball way short.
I thought he would have shot. He's got a nice inside Jack Sikma pivot. Pretty good run.
And Popovich goes down hard. He went down hard yesterday after he got tangled up with one of his teammates. Injured his calf. They took him for x-rays. He was able to return. He went down hard this time and popped up quickly.
Watch Popovich. Backpedaling is never good in transition. Two guys for Clemson did, and Popovich, because he was sprinting while Sims was backpedaling, ran right by him and got the foul.
Like Sims had the ball pretty cleanly up top, but called for the foul, his second.
It's amazing. You work on transition defense so little, and it is, I believe, the least taught part of college basketball. You see guys backpedal. You should never backpedal. You should turn, sprint, look over your shoulder, get back, get set. But if you just sprint the floor, and we've seen Popovich do it for 3 days now, you just sprint, you'll get some stuff.
Saw Popovich winded at the line. That little breather literally to wipe the ball off might have helped him a bit there.
He was calling for a timeout. He was. I saw him look at Coach Christian calling for a timeout. He needed a minute.
I think that delay was just enough to help him. He's played a lot of minutes. 26 yesterday, 32 against Georgia Tech. He's probably going to come out after the free throw. Reyes is at the table, but the miss does not afford Reyes the opportunity to get back in. 6-point game. Largest lead for Clemson was 14, so each team has had a pretty big lead. And the lead extended on a three by A.J. Oliver.
That was not an accident. That was on purpose. They put Oliver in the corner where he had hit one. Ball screen Thomas. As soon as Thomas got it, he knew exactly where the help was coming from. It was coming from Oliver.
Anthony Oliver II, his mother Audra, the head coach of the Clemson women's team. Robinson the miss, but rebounded by Mitchell. Managed to get out of a difficult spot. Chapman way short, and it goes out of bounds to Clemson with 1:04 left in the half.
Chapman rushed that. He really has been wanting to get a shot up. He's feeling good, but he shot that a little too quick. This is a big minute right here. You had a chance if you were Boston College to cut this to maybe 5, 6, 7, something like that. You cannot give up a three because it'll probably be a 2-for-1 here with Clemson at some point.
Game 4. 1 minute remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
Brad Brownell barking instructions. He knows how important this possession is. DeVoe looked like he was going to fall to the ground, stayed on his feet. Bowman had it deflected away. Oliver didn't think it was a good call, but it's going to be BC ball with 44 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, this is a big spot here. Big spot, big stop for Boston College. If you can get a bucket and a stopper, you go in feeling pretty good, down 6 or 5.
Chapman looked like he shuffled his feet a little bit on the catch. Reyes gave it back to him. Tough shot, and he made it. Fading away, a deep 2. And the last shot of the half will likely come from Clemson with the shot clock off. Time for Reed to do something. He passed it off. A long three would not go, and it's halftime. Mitchell had a pretty good look at it. First half of runs, Boston College led by 9 early, 12-3. Clemson a big push to open up a 14-point lead, and BC 14-7 since. 27 points. That'd be 9 threes, Dan. I'll give you a little help there. Here's Maria.
All right, Coach, 9 threes in the first half. How did that work for you guys on offense?
I thought we had good spacing. They brought 2 to the ball and some ball screens. I thought our guys did a decent job of getting it out, and then we scored against some of their zones.
You're able to slow the roll of Bowman and Robinson some. How do you continue to contain them in the second half?
Well, it's really hard. They're great players. We got to use 2 guys on them sometimes as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Maria hit right on it. 6 points for Robinson, 1 for Bowman. So Jim Christian probably feels pretty good being down only 7. Halftime report now. Here's Reese with Seth and Jay. To ESPN's Champ Week presented by Principal. This is the New York Life ACC tournament from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Boston College and Clemson. Boston College down by 7 in large part because their dynamic backcourt duo of Kai Bowman and Jerome Robinson has just 7 combined points, and Clemson has made 9 threes.
Well, they have made 9 of 17, only 6 baskets other than threes, and they haven't gone to the line but 2 times. So it's been the 3-point shot that has been the difference in this ball game. And I'm going to show you a little bit of why. They're getting it almost any way they would like. Dribble penetration. You go 4 out, over help. You see the help on the bottom of your screen right in the middle of the lane. Too much help. Slow to get out. Next thing you know, corner shooter has a great look at it. That's one way. The other way, once they went to a 1-3-1 zone, you drive it right into the gap, and you're going to see a shot from the right corner. When you drive it right at the middle man, it freezes the defense. It condenses it, and a great look. That help is way late. It's got to be there quicker.
Here's Maria Taylor.
Well, Dan, you hit it right on the nose. Jim Christian, coming out from Boston College, said that because of those threes, they've been kind of really over-helping. They're feeling the need to get in under on dribble penetration, and that's been the problem in the first half. So they're trying to do a better job defending the ball and not over-helping in the second half.
Well, that was the entire key yesterday, keeping the ball in front against Florida State, and it's the entire thing here today. If you're going to get beat by 3, it's got to be over you, not because you got out late from overhelp. Easier said than done. Clemson really good at driving the ball.
Jerome Robinson. Boston College has the ball to begin the second half. Jordan Chapman, short and left from 3 and out of bounds to Clemson. Chapman led all scorers in the first half with 13 points. He went 3 out of 4 from 3 in the first half. And a huge part in keeping BC within a touchdown as the second half begins. Marquise Reed, the pull-up. Wow. That was way off from about 14 feet.
Wide right.
Robinson has it back from Stephon Mitchell. Leading scorer in the ACC in the regular season. He's averaging just under 21 per game. Bowman, averaging 17 per game, has 1, and that's an air ball by Mitchell.
Well, great defense. Bowman tried to get in the middle of the lane, and DeVoe was having none of it. So you want Mitchell to shoot. You don't want Robinson, Bowman, or Chapman shooting.
A rare 3-second call against Elijah Thomas. Neither team turned the ball over in the last 10 minutes of the first half.
No, and all half. 4 turnovers for BC, only 2 for Clemson. And you expect that. You have really good guards out here that know how to play, share the ball, and aren't selfish.
Robinson, a lot of shake and bake. Got a good look at it. Popovich tipped it out, but it wound up in the hands of Shelton Mitchell, leading a Clemson break. Amir Sims, offensive foul as he plowed in to Kai Bowman, and that's 3 fouls on Sims, who had a terrific first half for Brad Brownell.
We're talking about this. Get back, guard the rim first. Well, there it is. Bowman got back. He got to that arc. You know, in modern college basketball with that arc, it tells you where to get back. First guy, just get to that arc. There's a line. Just get there, and you'll be able to cover the rim. And you'll get a charge. Man, does DeVoe get after you defensively?
Oh,
Holy
boy.
cow.
They have totally thrown Robinson and Bowman off their game with a terrific defense, and Gabe DeVoe capitalizes on the turnover.
Man, oh man, he got after Bowman the previous possession, didn't let him in the middle, got after Robinson and forced him to turn it over next possession. Does not allow himself to get screened and gets on top.
BC's turned it over just 5 times, but Clemson has scored on every one of them for a total of 13 points off turnovers.
You see, DeVoe's not on Robinson, so he's a little comfortable, gets everybody away. He's going to go one-on-one.
Robinson, wild shot, guarded by the much taller Elijah Thomas, usually an interior defender, one of the best defenders in the league. DeVoe for 3, and Clemson pulling away again, and Jim Christian calls a timeout.
You're not going to see a better all-around start 2.5 minutes than what DeVoe has done right here. You just not. DeVoe in transition, DeVoe on threes, but more importantly, DeVoe guarding. Been impressive.
Earlier today, the first of our 4 quarterfinal games here at the ACC tournament. The number 1 seed Virginia saw its first action of the week and defeated Louisville 75-58. Kyle Guy led the way with 19 points. He made 4 threes, playing with a brace on his sprained MCL of his left knee. So Virginia on to tomorrow's semifinals. They'll get the winner of this game. Still to come tonight, Miami and North Carolina. That will be preceded by Duke and Notre Dame. And here's a look at Joe Lunardi's projected top seeds in the NCAA tournament, brought to you by Lowe's. And there's no doubt Virginia is going to be a number 1 seed. Even if they lose tomorrow in the semifinal, they'll be a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament.
You know, it's fascinating. We talk about the importance of football, and you look at those. None of the schools are any good in football. Purdue had a nice year. We talk about on campuses, right? Football recruiting weekends. A couple of them don't even have Division I football.
Of all the things you could have said there, that one, that's
I mean, it's been
point.
It is, right? And that's why they hired me, to be interesting. But great look. DeVoe again with the look. But, you know, you think about it. Xavier, no football. Villanova, what is it, FBS?
Mitchell fouled inside. Foul called on Thomas.
Pretty good scrap here, and DeVoe just continues being the best player on the floor.
Stephon Mitchell makes the free throw.
I feel like that reference to football stopped you in your tracks a little bit.
I'm pondering what you said.
Yeah.
Trying to focus on the game all at the same time, and it's a lot to handle. You know, second game of 2. Eli Thomas the rebound. Now, this is my 4th game in 2 days with you. There's a lot to process.
Here's the zone now. Again, you saw at halftime. We showed you. Drive it into the gaps. 1-3-1 is the same as this 3-2. There are 2 gaps at the top, and you look for shots in the middle and the baseline.
DeVoe managed to maintain the dribble as he started to slip down. Sheds Robinson and shoots a long 2. Gabe DeVoe, what a game he's having. 17 points. He's the only Clemson Tiger in double figures.
He is so good, and he's just smart, right? He took his time, didn't have the ball, shot fake. He has made every switch on top, too. He has been directing the exterior of the defense.
Mitchell rescued it on the baseline, but didn't have a passing lane to Robinson as Shelton Mitchell was in the way. A turnover and a timeout. 15:55 to go, a 15-point lead for 4th-seeded Clemson.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. Protect your family no matter what.
Clemson shooting 50%. They're 10-19 from 3, but you can make the case this right here. This defense has been Virginia worthy. You see the help? There's help right there. On time, hands up now. Close out. You see it. Drive the middle. No. DeVoe will not allow it, and then you end up getting about the 5th option, shooting a 3, and that's an air ball, and that's exactly what Clemson wants. Defend the middle, defend the drive. Don't let Robinson, Bowman, or Chapman get going. If Mitchell beats you, he beats you.
Well, there's no doubt they are an NCAA tournament team, and they're going to be pain in the neck for whoever they play. When you play pesky defense as they do, they're going for the 2nd time in Brad Brownell's 8 seasons. I think that's another example of patience with a coach rewarded. It's well known within coaching, within college basketball, he's a very good coach. But he went to the tournament his first year, hadn't been since. They stuck with him. Now they have a tournament team and a bright future.
Yeah, you can just keep starting over every couple of years, which I don't think is a great formula. But you're absolutely right. I mean, look, Brad Burnell can coach. And Brad Burnell was given time, got his own guys in there, got a couple transfers to come in, and this is a really good basketball team, really good, even though they lost one of their best players, Grantham.
Of course, you mentioned giving coaches time. Pittsburgh today decided not to do that with Kevin Stallings. His contract bought out after just 2 years. Was not a very good 2 years, obviously.
It seemed like, Sean, Kevin Stallings was swimming upstream the entire time.
Yep.
It just felt like when he got the job, nobody wanted him to have the job. And
it seemed like a strange hire from the very beginning, and that's not the benefit of hindsight because a lot of people said that at the time. They had a lot of turnover in players. He had to bring in a lot of new players because he didn't inherit much, but just didn't seem like a good fit.
No, and to Kevin's credit and to their team's credit, we did the first game. I did the first game against Notre Dame, and man, I expected a mess, Sean. I did. I expected it to be a 30-point game. Notre Dame's playing great, playing for the tournament. Hey, they fought, they battled, but again, the announcement today that Kevin Stallings been let go, but good for Kevin. He got a lot of money coming to do not much.
Reportedly, the conversation about the buyout was somewhere in the neighborhood of $9 million. So we won't be holding any benefit dinners for him. We wish him well.
Son's playing professional baseball with the Pirates, catcher.
They had so much success for such a long time there at Pitt. Good ball movement by Clemson. There's DeVoe again. Almost banked it home unintentionally. Here's Chapman. He's done his part to keep Boston College within striking distance. Mesniak's a rare 3-point try.
Well, that's what Boston College, I think, has to do. They have to keep the ball moving, make or miss. That's the best shot they're going to get because I tell you what, Clemson has played great defense. Get it down, keep the ball moving. This is a bad call. This should be on Thomas. Instead, it's going to be on Petrovic. Or how about Popovich?
Either one of them.
You know.
The Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship underway. There was the thriller we talked about earlier. K-State a winner over TCU in overtime by 2. Speaking of Pitt, Jamie Dixon.
Speaking of no patience, Bruce Weber did a great job at Illinois. They get rid of him. Now they're on 2 coaches later. I don't know what they won this year. 5 games, 8 games?
In Pitt, some people started to get tired of Jamie Dixon.
Well, those people are clowns.
Yeah, exactly right. And he goes to TCU and has turned that around in a heartbeat. A 3 from the left side by the lefty Shelton Mitchell, and this is the largest lead of the game for either team.
How open was he? That was just 2 penetrations, a skip pass, and he was open from me to him.
Mesniak's doesn't play a lot. He's from Latvia. Bowman, a rare shot. Just his 6th field goal attempt. He and Robinson have only gotten up 13 shots, Dan. In the regular season game against Clemson, they got 33 shots combined.
You know what that tells you? That tells you good coaching and players that had time to learn a scouting report, saw what they did not do, and adjusted to it.
And even though Boston College lost that game, Robinson had 29 points and Bowman had 18 in a 4-point defeat at Chestnut Hill. They average 29 field goal attempts per game combined. As we said, they have 13 with 13 minutes to go today.
Sean, it feels like you could add 10 more minutes on this clock and Robinson couldn't get to 29 points the way Clemson's guarding.
They each have made 1 field goal.
You know what I like about Clemson? They seem egoless. They don't have an ego. You know, And I guess that comes from experience. But man, nobody's playing for anything other than Clemson or their
They would
teammate.
not fare well in broadcasting. Robinson, 1 out of 2.
I've been knocked out.
Oh, you have.
It's not even body punches anymore. It's just straight shots.
How about that one? Mitchell from deep with all kinds of time on the clock. Brad Brownell seems less than pleased.
Well, but he didn't really react. I thought we were going to see, I think maybe a Brad Brownell that was younger, or maybe a Brad Brownell that didn't trust his guards the way he trusts them would have reacted to that. But, yeah, he wasn't exactly thrilled, but
I think he said bad shot when we cut to that shot of him. But you're right, he didn't lose his mind, as some might have. Robinson, no. Fighting for every field goal attempt, Jerome Robinson, and doing it undoubtedly. Battling fatigue, third game in 3 days. The benefit of the double bye for Clemson. They're fresh. Bowman in a battle to get it back. Tim Nestor the call. It'll go to Boston College.
now if I were Brad Brownell, I know he's telling guys to settle down because that's a bad possession. They've had a few bad possessions. What you want to see, this is only 15 points. I mean, we saw last night with Notre Dame, no lead is safe, and you want good possession after good possession, grind this down.
Ooh, John Carlos Reyes attacked the rim.
Again, we're sitting here with a 13-point possession with guys that can knock in shots, and Jim Christian now with an extended 1-3-1 is doing everything he can to figure out a defense here to make Clemson uncomfortable. He's not trying to steal, he's just trying to make them uncomfortable, now man-to-man.
Foul on the drive. Bowman commits his third foul. That's another problem for Jim Christian. He said their guards can't get in foul trouble. They need to start scoring. Been a rough day for Bowman and Robinson in Brooklyn, and Clemson has a 13-point lead.
The Irish live to see another day.
We're not done yet. We still gonna work. We're gonna do something special. It's basketball. We love basketball, baby.
Moments made here.
Bonzie Colson and the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame still here after their dramatic come-from-behind win over Virginia Tech last night. Let's take a look at the weekend menu brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. The championship game of this New York Life ACC tournament is Saturday night at 8:30 on ESPN, following the Big 12 championship game presented by Phillips 66. And the SEC title game comes your way on Sunday. All of it right here on ESPN. Here, 11:42 to go. Clemson, the number 4 seed, leading Boston College. And the runner goes for Marquise Reed. He has 9. 1,000-point score plus at Clemson.
Sean, Marquise Reed just put his head down. The ball almost got stripped. In fact, it got hit a little bit, and he was able to finish. You just cannot let guys get into the middle of the paint. You just can't.
Robinson, they need it, and they get it. His first 3, just his second field goal.
Tell you what, pretty good switch by Thomas. And Robinson, that's a first shot where Robinson has looked really definite that he was going to shoot. Wow.
Oh, Thomas missed a short. He got it back and got fouled on the floor. And if that's on Bowman, it's his 4th. But it is not. It's on Chapman, his first.
Boy, that is a classic pass against the 1-3-1 from the right top to the left block. And it looked like it was going to be short, but Thomas just went up over everybody. Thomas is like their safety net. He does it defensively. He protects the middle, protects the rim, and offensively, after all of the guards do their thing, if that all breaks down, they find him.
Fourth team foul on Boston College, only 3 for Clemson, so we're away from the bonus. Air ball by DeVoe. BC a chance to get it back to single digits. Bowman seemed to surprise Reyes by the pass. Nice look to Chapman for the layup.
Yeah, Reyes just held the ball for a 2 count, let guys cut. Chapman with a fantastic cut. We got a 10-point game, boss.
And a long way to go. 10.5 minutes remaining in Brooklyn. Skara, nice pass to Thomas. When Skara turned, he was wide open. Looked like he might shoot it, but he saw the better option.
Yeah, well, Jim Christian is hostile with Reyes because Reyes didn't know what defense they were in. And he's going to get him out, put Popovich back in. Half the team was in zone. Reyes didn't know.
Bowman, whistle.
Good call. Bad luck for Boston College, but Robinson was coming and they held him and knocked him off of a screen. You're going to see right here, this is too easy. This is just too easy. Middle, down, layup. Reyes didn't know what defense, and he's coming out.
DeVoe called for a second foul for Clemson. Midway through the second half now, and another Clemson foul. So we mentioned they're a ways from the bonus, and they're getting closer in a heartbeat. Scott Spinelli, assistant coach, with some words for Reyes. His name is starting to be mentioned as a head coaching candidate.
Should be. He's been a long-time assistant. Some good programs, Kentucky among them.
Was at Maryland with Mark Turgeon. Speaking of the BC coaches, Jim Christian is from Bethpage, New York on Long Island, not far from here. I asked him this morning, do you have a lot of family here? He said, well, I did yesterday, but it's just my wife Patty and the kids. There's a 3 for Robinson to the delight of the Christian family. I said, well, where's everybody else? He said, well, they have to work. I said, he said, they said to me, can't you play at night? I told him, I'm sorry, when you're the 12th seed, you don't get to dictate what time you play.
I thought you were going to say they're playing golf, one of the great golf courses in the country, Bethpage Black. No.
Not after the weather we had yesterday.
No, it's bad.
Probably not in ideal shape. But the Christians who are here are enjoying this little push by Boston College to make it a single-digit deficit.
Watch this low cross. He's low between his legs, lifts up, off balance with Sims. That's the first time, or second time actually in a row, where Robinson has felt comfortable.
He looks like he still has some energy. Bowman has shown it in spurts. But Bowman today just 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, way off what he usually averages. He's up at 17 points, nearly 7 rebounds, about 5 assists a game.
Bowman's been terrific, and Bowman is a both ends guy. We've talked about again, he's the best rebounding guard I've seen. I mean, he is an enthusiasm for going to rebound, and then when he gets it, he takes it coast to coast and makes usually pretty good play.
Has to be so hard, as we said earlier. 3rd game in 3 days for Boston College to play against this well-coached defense, tenacious defense. Dialed up by Brad Brownell. Long 2 and a nifty shot by Marquise Reed.
Every time out they go to Marquise Reed, and he has delivered. Last time it was drive it in the middle of the lane. This time it was get the ball in the middle of the court.
11 today. He's the 3rd Tiger into double figures. Popovich was open, thought about it, gave it to Robinson. There's Bowman. I'm not tired, says Bowman, as he went flying through the air for the rebound. And Les Jones has a held ball call. Tim Nestor says, all right, we'll go with it. And it's Clemson ball on the arrow.
Probably a good move. Popovich 5 for 24 from 3. Pretty good play by Thomas, knocking it free. You feel like Boston College really hasn't gotten comfortable defensively. You know, they really aren't. They haven't gotten to a point where they can get hot defensively and really keep Clemson under control. Good play here.
Bowman the steal. He has Robinson with him. Reed went for the steal and made the play. Now Bowman able to rescue it. He shoots a tough floater. Might have been trying to do too much there.
He was, because he had Robinson screaming for the ball in the left-hand corner. Just didn't see him.
8.5 minutes to go. 5 seconds to shoot. Thomas has it roll off to Bowman.
Got to find Robinson. Got to bring it to the right side. Bad mistake. He had 2 shooters on the right side. Went left side.
8 minutes to go. Mitchell passed up an open 3. Robinson with 2 defenders nearby rattles one home.
Boy, was that a great play by Mitchell. He didn't shoot it. Last time he shot a 3 was an air ball. This time he drove it into traffic. Robinson filled behind, screamed for it, got it, drilled it.
Mitchell, tough shot after the strong drive. Popovich held his ground. Now a turnover. 2 on 3, and Mitchell alertly gave it to Robinson. Bowman is fouled. Sims for the block, but apparently got some body as well.
Don't stand. Ball's driven. Do not stand. Mitchell drives it. Robinson competing like crazy, desperately competing, filled in behind and lifted up and knocked it out. We got a ball game.
Are you ready?
All right, Chris, thank you. Plenty of action today in the quarterfinals tomorrow at the SEC tournament from St. Louis. What a year for Auburn, the #1 seed.
Yeah, it's too bad. Bruce Pearl running out of players. I like Kentucky. I think Kentucky starting to play better. Got beat late against Florida, but I did a few of their games. They just keep, to me, getting better and better and better. They've had a little time here. I like them in that tournament. I like them to win that tournament.
Big win for Alabama today, bubble team. So Kai Bowman, the free throw shooter. They're within 6, Maria Taylor.
On the Clemson sideline, the message was, you guys have looked tired for the last 3 minutes. Now, coach also telling his team the one player who can beat us is Robinson, and the one player that will not beat us is Robinson. Do not help off of him or allow the threes.
Boy, that is so true. Stay on top. No help responsibilities.
DeVoe off the mark from 3-point range, rebounded by Mitchell. This is the closest BC has been in the second half, and a chance to get closer still with just under 7 minutes to go. Robinson with DeVoe right up on him. 15 to shoot. Robinson, his pass deflected out of bounds, nearly got stuck in the air. Boy, Clemson so often is in the passing lane. That time it was Mitchell who deflected it out of bounds.
Well, I'm telling you, Robinson, when he drew everybody. Popovic wants a shot. When Robinson drives, go to the top of the key. He'll get an open 3.
10 to shoot as they play it into Bowman. Guarded by Marquise Reed. 5 to shoot. Bowman, tough 3. Yes!
I disagree. I think Bowman can beat you as well. You know, that huddle, Maria talking about what Brunell said, and he's right. I mean, Robinson's the guy, but man, Bowen is tough on tough. He can beat you down the stretch and is willing to beat you down the stretch.
Jim Christian keeps telling us our guys can play all day. They have a lot in the tank. When it looked like it might be close to empty, they rally again. They were 16 down with just under 14 minutes to go in this one. They're within 3. The foul's on Mitchell, his first.
Amazing when one guy getting going, Robinson getting going, can help the other. And these two guys are tied at the hip, Bowman and Robinson, and Bowman just drilled it. That's as tough a shot as he's had all tournament.
Just the 3rd free throw of the game for Clemson. They've made all 3. Boston College has shot 19, made 13. Bowman and Robinson starting to come to life. And that's the reason it has tightened up. Bowman, 1,000+ career points in just his 2nd year at Boston College. Just the 5th player in BC history to get to 1,000 in 2 seasons. The most recent, Olivier Hanlon, who led the ACC in scoring a couple years ago. Robinson saw Thomas, got rid of it. Bowman, 3!
They play well together, don't they?
They're becoming one of the darlings of Champ Week. Every year there are a couple, and right now Boston College winning some hearts of those who don't necessarily have much interest. Clemson trying to stab him in the heart. It's Mitchell with a tough two from the corner.
Well, you'll take that if you're BC. You've got to force the ball to the baseline. They did. Mitchell just good enough to lift up and never change expression. Now, you don't need a heat check here.
Well, he's going to try it, and that's way off.
You could see he wanted to do that. You don't need that. You just keep playing within the system. You'll get a good look.
DeVoe, nifty pass. Bowman blocks Skara. The point guard underneath the bucket with the rejection. Mitchell charging to the goal, fouled.
Brad Brunell was right. His team does look tired here. They just play well together. You know, DeVoe got a little bit lost inside the mix, but man, you lose one of those two, they're going to find each other, Bowman and Robinson. And down here, everybody to the ball. Boom! Robinson spanks it out of there. Next thing you know, Mitchell at the foul line.
And Skara has just fouled out. Played just 15 minutes during those 5 fouls. The transfer from Valpo, played across the bridge in the NIT championship game 2016 for Valparaiso. Well, Bowman, rough day most of the day. A lot of times when you have a tough day, it just stays a tough day. He has not allowed it to be that.
Big possums walk late. They do. Big possums walk late. The big guys walk late. Anybody can hit it. Look, baseball players, a lot of great 3 o'clock hitters, right? Games at 7. Big possums walk late.
Did you make that up? You had to have, because I can't imagine that would have come from anyone else. Mitchell, 1 out of 2. And it's a 1-possession game.
Feel free to use it.
You can
bet you will, right? Telling you. Who's going to be the big possum for Clemson? They walk late.
It's getting late. Nearing 4.5 minutes to go. Marquise Reed trying to help change the Clemson history in this ACC tournament. Big 3 by A.J. Oliver out of the corner.
That's 3 for him right out of the same corner, the left side.
Clemson's an original member of the ACC. The first ACC tournament was in 1954. Clemson has never won this event. Reyes swooping to the bucket. They are the only original member of the ACC that hasn't won it. They are 19-64 all time. They've only been in the championship game twice.
That's not good.
It's not good. This team's capable of doing much better and helping reverse that history. They're certainly capable of winning this thing, but they got to get past this one first, and they're in a fight with Boston College. Mitchell fouled on the drive. He'll be at the line for 2 after we come back. Second foul on Robinson.
Big possums. You're not going away. These two are not going away. I'm telling you, there's a big possum right there for a deep 3. Little step back. Here you go. I'm telling you, it was 16 a minute ago, not now. Why? 2 big possums. Walking late.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by New York Life. We know that life doesn't fit into any one plan, so start a plan that flexes with yours.
Spirited back and forth battle. Boston College and Clemson in Brooklyn. BC jumped out early 12-3, but then trailed at the half by 7. They went down by 16 with just under 14 minutes to go. Now the Eagles have rallied. A third win for Kai Bowman on the Eagles' 3rd game in as many days. They're within 4 with 3:44 to go. Clemson, meanwhile, has made 12 threes. That ties the school record for most threes by the Tigers in an ACC tournament game. It's the 3rd time they've had 12 in an ACC tournament matchup. Shelton Mitchell at the free throw line, and he made the first. And the second spins around and in. Chapman, Mitchell Popovich. The same five that's played almost all the minutes here for 3 days, and they turn it over. Mitchell to take away for Clemson.
Well, they were trying to get the ball into Robinson, posting up. First time I've seen that in 3 games, and well played, really well played by Thomas.
The ball in a 6-point lead for Clemson, and that one would have been huge. It's a huge rebound and dunk by Thomas off the miss by Marquise Reed.
Hey, Thomas just out tough Popovich. He went after the ball much harder. Popovich just felt like he had position, but he didn't go after it tough. Thomas did. I love Thomas. I think he is just a winning guy.
Lots of contact, and Les Jones with an offensive foul call on Jerome Robinson, who just lowered his shoulder and got called for the offensive foul, his 3rd foul.
That big possum's Thomas, right? I mean, look, block out, good block out. But with the left hand, Thomas got it, gathered, and dunked it. And guys that need to not flex are flexing. He can flex. And Thomas took a charge.
By the way, when we work with you, we have to have a fact checker, but Big Possum's walk late is credited to Harry Carey, the late great baseball broadcaster, one of his catchphrases.
Beat away from the ball screen. Man, oh man, you just can't get beat away from the ball screen. Mitchell just whipped the entire team of Boston College going away.
Big Possum's walk late, and Eagles might be flying home in another 2 minutes and 23 seconds. A terrific run here in New York for Boston College, but they're up against it now, down by 10 with 2:23 to go. Brad Brownell trying to get on to tomorrow's semifinals to take on the top seed Virginia. Give them credit. They took a punch from Boston College, and they have responded as any coach would hope they would. 6 p.m. tonight, SportsCenter, Michael Smith. He'll break down Tigers' first round of the Valspar Championship. Preview of Serena's match tonight. She's playing in Indian Wells, California. And Jay Billis tells you about top seeds who should be on upset alert. Jay Billis in action tonight. He and Dan Schulman, after 4 days here in New York of doing nothing other than going to Broadway shows and enjoying the great restaurants of Manhattan, they will decide to grace us with their presence tonight here at the Barclays Center. Hell ball, Boston College ball.
And we're all the better for that. Tiger Woods will win a major this year. You can look that up. And golf will be back because of Tiger Woods.
It never went away.
It went away from me.
It never went away. There are a lot of great stars in golf. Tiger adds to it greatly, but
I agree there's probably more good stars right now than there have been. And great move by Robinson, but
Tiger will win a major.
Yep.
You want to go with like another one of your expressions, recovering Tigers go low or something like that, or Big Possums walking late. Jerome Robinson, this could be the final game of his BC career.
I hope not. I hope this team comes back.
I hope so too. It'd be a lot of fun on Chestnut Hill.
You know, Bowman has already said he's going to put his name in. The assumption is Robinson will too. And, you know, if you use it right, you can get a lot better from the process. Mo Wagner from Michigan went through the process, realized, man, I better bulk up. I better get stronger.
And you know what? This is a great draft.
It's a great draft.
So if you're Jerome Robinson this year, you're going to sit there and watch guys like Ayton and Bagley and Porter and all these other guys get picked. And no matter how good you are, you're going to wait a while.
It's a perfect draft to stay out of, unless you're one of those guys.
They're at the monitor, trying to determine the identity of the player committed the foul. And they changed it to Thomas, his third. Well officiated game today by these three veterans, Mike Eads, Tim Nestor, and Les Jones.
I think the whole year has been pretty well officiated.
I agree completely.
Do you?
J.D. Collins here today, Brian Kersey of the ACC.
I told J.D.
Proud of their guys.
Yeah, I think J.D. Collins has put common sense into officiating. You know, jump straight up, show your hands. You can But I think the consistency has been better. So many times we saw games change in mid-game, where all of a sudden they were letting it go and then they tightened it up. I think this year it's just been consistent for the most part across the board for each game.
Robinson. Scores get their points, don't they? Even on what's been a tough day. He averages 21 a game. He has 18 today. BC with some pressure and Clemson a timeout. With 2:11 to go and the Tigers leading by 8.
Where is it, left?
2 more games tonight. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Allison Williams on the call tonight. Miami and North Carolina after Notre Dame and Duke. That is a pretty appealing marquee doubleheader.
You've been spot on who's going to win these games. You have, and I'll give you great credit. You've been spot on. So what do you think tonight now that you are?
I'm going to take North Carolina. I think Miami has an excellent team. And when you're the number 3 seed in this tournament, you've had a terrific year. And there's something about Notre Dame in this building in particular. Mike Bray, a little magic. Now they have Colson back. I think he made a great point after their win last night. They needed that win, certainly. But as he said, with Bonzie Colson and Matt Farrell healthy, they are a top 20 team. So never mind us getting the top 68. We are a top 20 team. They win tonight, punch their ticket.
I thought they won last night. They punched their ticket. But I'll say this, after watching them against Pittsburgh, then watching the first half last night, I didn't think they were a top 20 team. But the game didn't end at halftime, and I thought they were terrific, obviously, in the second half.
4th year in a row, the Irish and Blue Devils meeting in the ACC tournament. Pressure by Boston College. Handled by Clemson, and it leads to a miss. And then a lay-in by DeVoe. Sims the miss. He's slow to get up. Brad Brownell hollering at him to get up. Chapman's open for 3. Had to have it. Didn't get it. Popovich got it back. Bowman steps into one. Mitchell got the rebound. 1:40 to go. Boston College desperately trying to hang in this one, down by 10, and Bowman will go back to the free throw line.
Well, good decision by Bowman, because you miss here, the game is over, and he kept it alive by driving to the basket after a couple of misses. I would say now, if he can make both of these free throws, when Thomas touches it, I think you've got to go foul him. You're going to look at an 8-point game, 1:40. I'm not fouling these other guys, but I am fouling Thomas because he is involved in the press break.
Bowman makes the first one. 12 points for Kai Bowman. Double figures this year now in 32 out of 34 games. Quick foul on Robinson. And they'll go to the other end for a 1-and-1.
That's not bad. Sims 9 for 20 on the year. Nothing wrong with fouling him right there.
Now Robinson has 4 fouls. So 4 on Robinson and 3 on Bowman. So if they get into a must-foul situation, someone else is going to have to do it. Ooh, that looked like a much better release and rotation than you'd expect from a 45% free throw shooter.
Well, he's played really well. He knocked in threes early. A couple of them got him back in the game when they started out slow. And you're right, his stroke looks really good.
Matter of fact, that's a career high, tying 10 points for Amir Sims. He had 10 in their loss at Florida State in mid-February. Robinson batted out by Sims and out of bounds. Boston College ball with 1:28 to go.
Brad Brownell is all over Thomas, and Thomas is kind of saying like, hey man, I got this, relax.
Robinson slipped, still got it to Popovich, who drops it in.
They lost Reed. Yeah, you don't want to foul him.
Look out. DeVoe avoided Popovich, lost the ball for a moment, and they wisely pull it out, and Popovich fouls Mitchell. 4 fouls on Nick Popovich of Boston College. This will be the last 1-1. It's the 9th team foul against BC. And Sheldon Mitchell is the free throw shooter, and he's excellent. 84.4. And perfect today, 3 for 3.
He rifles them in. I mean, the basket's 10 feet high. He doesn't mess around, man. He just fires them in about 10 feet 6 inches.
Bill Rafter, you said, must have played CYO ball in the
low gyms.
School gyms with the low ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Bowman, Chapman popped up. Boy, Popovich is battling all the way to the end on that offensive glass. Chapman commits the foul. But with a minute to go, looks like Boston College's valiant run here in New York is going to end. They won 2 games in the ACC tournament for the first time since their first year in the ACC tournament back in 2006 when they had a terrific team. Guys like Jared Dudley and Craig Smith. They got to within 2 with just under 5 minutes to go. And then Clemson went on an 11-3 run.
I think it's going to be a fun game, Clemson, Virginia, no?
A little bit of defense in that one.
Yeah, and Clemson is the kind of team, they attack. Try to get paint touches with the dribble. And
they better figure out how to score. When they played at Virginia on January 23rd, they scored 36 points. 61-36 was the final for Virginia.
I remember that, and I don't think it was that close. I don't.
Mesniaks commits the foul.
But I think this Clemson team has themselves a little bit figured out. You know, you lose Grantham, you figure some things out. The next thing you know, you're sitting for a few days. You have a choice. You can either sit, get rusty, or you can get better. And I think they got better. And I don't think. Do you think fatigue played into Boston College here? Or do you think it was Clemson playing into Boston College?
I just think it was a really hard team to have to play in the third game in 3 days.
Yeah.
Because the things they do defensively, especially not allow you anything in transition, those are the things that Boston College does with that guard duo that gets out on the move, as we saw the last 2 days. They didn't get anything in transition, or very little.
Oh, geez. No, I agree. Everything you had, you were going to have to work for.
Bowman, wow. Well, let's hope they come back. You know, we talked a lot the last 2 days about patience with coaches. Let's hope Boston College is patient with Jim Christian. This is a big step forward, certainly. Yeah, and
if they come back, you know, Robinson, if they come back, this is a top-tier ACC team. You know, again, and then not only a top-tier ACC team, but a top-tier experienced ACC team.
He took over a very tough situation. His first year, they had a bunch of veteran players, but they weren't particularly good. Olivier Hanlon was a fine player, but other than that, then he had 9 scholarships to work with at the end of his first year. You know, that's an awful lot to try to build up. And their practice facility, that almost went in for 3, compared to just about anything else you see around the country. I mean, they basically practice in a little gym upstairs in their arena. The hockey team uses the arena floor for their practice. I mean, they're lagging behind in a lot of things that what they need to be competitive. And even with that, here they are, competitive and heading in the right direction.
Well, you have to do what he did. You know, you mentioned yesterday that Robinson didn't go to North Carolina State, even though he was friends with the previous coach Mark Godfrey's family. They just missed on him, and Jim didn't.
Right.
And that's how you build it. You get kids like Bowman. You get kids. Bowman was a football recruit to North Carolina, offered by Nick Saban. You just get. It's not luck. People say, well, you get lucky. No, that's not luck. Jim Christian and his staff know exactly what they're doing in recruiting.
When they had all those successful teams with Al Skinner, a lot of those guys were under-recruited.
Sure.
Mentioned Craig Smith, you know, Troy Bell. Remember John Beerbaum was a big part of those teams. You know, they've done very well throughout their history with under-recruited players. But you don't want to do that forever. I mean, upgrade your facilities, make more of a commitment to it.
Right.
Whoa, that they thought on the BC bench was an elbow by Mitchell. Robinson looking at Les Jones as if to say, he elbowed me right in the side of the head.
I bet they're going to look at this, but they're going to say that they were in his space, the new rule. I would be surprised if they don't look at this a little bit.
Well, he's pointing at Mitchell to say Mitchell fouled him. They are going to go to the monitor. Jim Christian trying to plead his case before they go to the video.
You know, talking about if Jim Christian, and I'm sure he will, he's always kind of done this, you can watch it here, but Jim Christian stays like Virginia does, stays true to who he is and what he wants, the kind of guy he wants to coach. Virginia's guys aren't the highest rated kids. I mean, look.
Do you see a foul?
Right there's a foul with the right elbow.
But do you see a BC foul?
No. I see a bad call. But they're saying he's in his space.
I mean, it looked like Mitchell knocked the ball out of his hands.
You know what they're saying now?
You know what? We blew the call, so now what do we do?
Right. It's exactly what they're saying. Screwed that up. We got to figure this out. Now they didn't figure it out, so
yeah, they're in a little bit of a jam here. And this is a big call. I mean, we saw last night what the technical foul against Virginia Tech did in that game. Really turned the game in favor, helped continue to turn the game in favor of Notre Dame. They're back to the scores table again. We've pretty much put the game in the win column for Clemson, but depending on the result of this review, that might be premature.
I think one of the things that we make a mistake in this is we play everything in slow motion. I think you got to play things in fast motion. In slow motion, I think you can make the case that in slow motion, most things look intentional. Mm-hmm. And real speed, let's see if this looked intentional, because I thought it looked intentional when it was.
Oh, yeah.
It did there, too.
It sure did, didn't it? I mean, that looked like more than and that's an excellent point you just made. I mean, that looked like more than fighting through the double team.
Right. That looked like an elbow to the neck.
Mm-hmm. That's an excellent point you made, because it certainly looks much worse there. I mean, that looks like he's trying to elbow him in the side of the head. Now, what I wonder is, did they see a replay where it was at full speed? Because as you said, it looks a lot worse at full speed. Mike Eads is going to explain it. Jim Christian seems to be enjoying the explanation a little bit better than Brad Brownell at the moment. And here comes Tim Nestor, and he'll tell Dan what's going on.
We have the cylinder foul first, so we're going to shoot 2 free throws down here. Clemson will shoot those, and then we have a dead ball foul where Boston College will go and shoot those, and then we'll have a throw-in for BC.
I couldn't help but hear the explanation.
Oh.
Tim Nestor said, Les had the foul. You notice he wanted.
Yes.
That's his way of saying. We saw the replay, and it really wasn't a foul. So Les had the foul call. And then after 4 minutes of review, here we go. So it's Mitchell. Terrific free throw shooter with one more, and then they'll go to the other end.
What's wrong with you?
I just love the way that was explained. Don't kill me on the air. There is a foul at this end, and then we have the swinging elbow. Robinson now.
You must have a reputation for being hard on officials.
No, I'm next to you. I pale in comparison. So Robinson makes a couple.
Well, there's your, we're basically the same 7-point game, but they got a turnover. So now you knock in a 3. Here we go.
32 and a half to go. Bowman strong to the bucket. It's a 5-point game. 27.6. Relentless pressure from BC. They get it into the corner. DeVoe. Bowman reaches in and fouls him. And he is fouled out. At a certain point, even though you don't want to be that guy, you can't wait any longer. The time is more important than keeping Bowman in the game. So he departs. It might be the end of his season And he is getting an ovation from the BC fans behind their bench, and many of the Clemson fans standing and applauding as well, showing class and gratitude.
They were not going to let Mitchell get that basketball. They were not let. He's made everything. He's been a big possum here late. They were not letting him get it, and it ended up where Bowman just had to foul, which is unfortunate. Vin Baker coming in for him.
.23 points for Bowman, tied for game-high honors with DeVoe. 8 rebounds, 4 assists. 22 of those 23 points in the second half.
Yeah, nothing going, 0, and then all of a sudden, a little desperation kicked in. That kid got rolling, made this interesting.
Well, when Robinson and Bowman weren't doing much, they were in the risk of being blown out. They got it going in the second half. BC made a game of it. Clemson starting to put it away from the free throw line.
Give DeVoe credit. I think his last 2 threes have been air ball. He just stepped up and drilled 2 of them.
Yeah, Clemson now 19 out of 20 from the free throw line. Robinson, no. Out of bounds to Clemson. We'll see if Jim Christian keeps the press on and they foul, or if they call off the dogs here. They're going to keep it on. Why wouldn't you? Hope for a quick turnover. They go to the foul. Vin Baker Jr. fouls Marquise Reed. First foul on the son of the former NBA All-Star.
His first personal foul. Marquise Reed on the line for Clemson, shooting.
Everybody in the ACC saw a 4-point lead go away in 0.9 seconds in Virginia.
Thinking about that Virginia-Louisville game last week.
Right.
Rare miss by Reed. Just the second miss in 21 attempts as a team for Clemson.
That's why they're dangerous. Every guy that goes up there, you just expect to make, and when they don't, you're kind of shocked. And they can all get fouled. They can all handle the ball. They can all play without an ego.
10 seconds to go. Robinson's 3 popped out. Sims, who's had a tremendous game, they throw it ahead. Thomas, Brad Brownell says don't do it, and he didn't do it. So a nice run in New York ends for Jim Christian, well liked by his peers, and obviously a kind word from Brad Brownell. And Clemson marches on to the semifinals. So on this side of the bracket, the top 2 seeds advance to Friday night. Virginia and Clemson tomorrow, and still more great action tonight. 90-82 the final. For Maria Taylor, Dan Dockich, our great crew led by Eric Mosley and Jeff Evers. Sean McDonough saying so long from Brooklyn.